What's up, everybody? My name is Shane. Some of you might recognize me from 2017. I actually chronicled coming off from methadone at 80 milligrams, jumped off methadone. Didn't go to rehab, did it all at home with the support of my family. I was successful. Went just under 3 years. Like, it was just about a week away from hitting my 3 year mark. Uh, Completely sober. Well, I won't say completely sober. I do, or I was, I'd drink some beers on the weekend, and I smoke weed, but no maintenance meds, no opiates, no nothing, like nothing at all. In fact, like, I was deathly afraid of opiates. Like, I remember having dreams about doing some opiates, like, in my dream, and then waking up like just scared to death until I realized like it was just a dream. But that's how like much I hated it, and was so happy to be clean. And to be honest with you guys, like, it wasn't obviously it wasn't easy, right? Methadone especially is really really hard to come off from. With the half life and methadone, they say like it gets in your bones, and like it's a really nasty thing to come off. But I was so ready mentally, like it was my choice to come off it. I just spilled my guts to my family and let them know what was going on, and spilled my guts to the place I was working at the time, let them know what was going on. I took a month off from work, and just dedicated that time to getting clean, and I did it, and I made videos at the time, and looking back, I ended up deleting those videos like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years into my recovery. But when I look back on those videos, I feel like I probably sugarcoated a lot of things. Not because I wanted to be like to look like I was like a super strong dude, like, oh, no problem doing that. Like, he's freaking rugged, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. It was more like I just wanted to. I didn't want to discourage people, because there was a lot of people commenting and watching, and I still talk to people that I was, thank God, able to help get off from methadone or other opiates themselves, and they're still clean to this day, and that's amazing, and that really means a lot. And these videos really do help people. I know that for a fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. So anyway, I'm gonna make this. I'll get into more detail about everything in another video. But the reason I'm back is because I relapsed a couple of years ago. I relapsed once. I relapsed on a Christmas Eve. I'm gonna say I think it was 2020. I could be wrong. I'm not really good with dates, but it was definitely Christmas Eve. And I'm 41 years old, and I was never on opiates when fentanyl was around, thankfully, or I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. I would definitely be dead, most likely. That's statistically, I mean, fentanyl is some horrible stuff. Uh, but it almost killed me, that relapse. I overdosed on just a very, very small amount. I had been drinking, which just clouded my judgment, and I ended up hanging out with people I shouldn't have been hanging out with that night. Uh, and it was a very, very stupid move. And it almost killed me. Now, that being said, after that night, I didn't use again. I would say for 4 to 6 months, I didn't touch anything again. But for whatever reason, coronavirus, having to work 10-hour shifts from my kitchen table. My mom had got diagnosed with cervical cancer, which she thankfully beat, and she's doing great. But at the time, like, my mom is everything to me, always has been. And that was really, really hard on me. Being cooped up in this house was really, really hard on me. I was already having a hard time mentally, because, once you get over the acute withdrawal, like, it's not over. At least it wasn't for me. It was, well over a year that I was experiencing insomnia and just waves of symptoms. I'm not joking. Like, a year later, and I don't say that to scare anybody, because it was manageable, right? It was completely manageable, but it was still there. And I don't think mentally I really still, at almost 3 years, I still wasn't mentally completely healed yet. Um, but yeah, so anyway, so I relapsed that one time, almost died. Didn't use again for like 6 months. Ended up hanging out with this dude that I shouldn't have been hanging out with, and all that stuff was going on, and I was in a bad place mentally, and drinking a lot, alone, like, just not healthy. Um, I'm somebody that needs, like, people around, and to have coronavirus and all that BS, like, I couldn't cope with it, and ended up using. And I instead of just using and then letting it be, I used for like a week or two, like, consecutively every day. And at that point, I was so scared of going through the withdrawal again that it kept me on. And I was using dope with fentanyl in it, and I don't want to die, guys. Like, seriously, man. I love life. I really do. I have issues, like, I have depression issues and anxiety and PTSD, and but I love life, and I don't want to die. So I ended up getting a doctor and getting on Suboxone, and I've been on Suboxone for 2 years now, and hate it, man. I'm just so freaking mad at myself, and just really, really hard on myself, and which I should be. It's my own stupid judgment and my own stupid mistakes that did that. So, but I just can't be happy. And I haven't been. I haven't been hanging out with my friends. I go to work and I come home and I sit here by myself and close my curtains and don't want to talk to people. And it's just not who I am. And I know it's the medication. And so, being who I am and knowing myself pretty good at this point, I ended up, like, making the decision, with God's help, thank God, a few months ago. Like, I'm just like, okay, it's time. Like, God told me, and it's time. And I think God's got a plan for everybody. If you don't believe in God, that's completely fine. I'm new to it myself. I recently just found, like, Jesus, and started reading the Bible and started praying, and He's done amazing things since that point. Like, God has just done crazy, undeniable things in my life. I'm not going to get too much into that, but you will hear me talk about God, and you'll hear me talk about some things that He's done, undeniable things that He's done in my life in the last few weeks. But it's led me to the point now, where a couple months ago I started tapering down my dose, and I don't know how much exactly, because I'm prescribed Subutex and it comes in a pill, and when you break them up, it's pretty much impossible to tell exactly, like, what dose you're taking. But really, really tiny dose, like 0.25 milligrams, something like that. It's really insignificant. But the thing with buprenorphine is it's really, really powerful. So, I'm still gonna be in a world of hurt. Like, there's no doubt. I know it. But I also know that it's doable. It's completely doable. Not a walk in the park. It sucks, but you can get through it, you know. And I do know, like, thank God again, like it's only been 2 years this time. You know what I mean? Before, when I came off methadone, I had been on maintenance medication through the Veterans Administration and through other doctors, but over 12 years of being on maintenance meds, you know, methadone and Suboxone and other opiates. So I was coming off a very high dose. Well, not very high, I wouldn't say, for methadone, 80 milligrams, but it's high enough. And yeah, anyway, luckily it's only been 2 years, and I remember very clearly like what it was to be clean and to be free from this crap. So that's going to help tremendously. Also, being able to taper this time and not be jumping off 16 milligrams or, even 8 milligrams of Suboxone, like that would be a lot worse. So I did have the ability to taper. I have that knowledge in my head that it's going to suck for a couple weeks. It's going to be real hard, and I'm going to have to work through it. I don't have time off, so I'm going to use this long weekend. I got Fridays off because I work 4 10-hour shifts. So I'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off this week, which is I'm going to use to start this process, you know, because it's a long process. But I know like the first 5, 6, 7 days are the worst, and then like gradually it starts to get a little bit better. But it does take a long time. Sleep is nearly impossible. I do have 30 Ambien pills because with PTSD and other things that I deal with, like I've had a hard time sleeping. So my doctor a couple months ago actually prescribed me a month's supply of Ambien to help me with sleep. I do shift work too, so that was kind of why she was willing to do that. But I haven't used any of it. I've been saving it for withdrawal, and I mean, I know like it's probably just not gonna work. Really, nothing seems to help sleep when you're going through this. But I'm gonna try anyway, just to see if it does get me any sleep. You know, just a couple hours of sleep during withdrawal is like precious, man. Anybody that's been through this knows. So I have that. And a positive outlook. It's easy for me to say that right now because I took a dose like, I don't know, really early this morning. I woke up, wasn't feeling great, and took a very small dose. And so it's easy for me to say right now that I'm have a positive outlook when it just when it starts to hit you, like that depression and stuff comes in, and it's almost impossible to like bring yourself out of that sometimes and be positive. But I just keep reminding myself, like, this is what you want, you know, this is what God wants, and you gotta work for it. It's gonna hurt, but I've been through worse. So I'm gonna just try to stay positive, try to get through that first week, and I'll keep you guys updated. You know, having these videos when I came off methadone really, really helped me a lot. You guys, it's amazing to be able to talk and to get support from you guys, even though I don't know you. We have this thing in common, and I draw a lot of strength from encouraging comments and things like that, and just not feeling so alone and being able to try to help other people. But I want to be completely honest in my videos and tell you really how I'm feeling, my energy levels, mood, things like that, and give you a real good breakdown of the what I'm experiencing. So I appreciate you watching. I know this is a long video, but I did kind of just want to give you a brief of everything that's kind of led up to this point in this video, this first video. And, you know, I hope that you guys watch, and I hope that this helps somebody to try to make that choice. Really, the toughest part of all of it is making the decision to, like, all right, enough's enough. Like, I'm done. I don't care how bad it hurts. I don't care what I have to experience to get to my goal. I'm gonna get to my goal no matter what. Nothing's gonna stop me, and you know it's a war. It really is. It's a battle, and I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to take my life back again. And you know, thankfully, like I said, it hasn't been that long since I've been clean and healthy, and I vividly remember how great it is to not be a slave to a medication, and you know, uh, definitely, I'm not one of those people who consider myself clean. You know, while I'm on a maintenance med, I'm just not one of those people. If you are, you are. That's okay. But when you try to come off it, you know, I know I'm not gonna name any names, but a specific YouTuber that was like all about recovery and being clean, and she's on Suboxone, and you know, it's just she tried to come off it at one point and made it like a day, you know, or 2 days, and I think when you start to come off this stuff, you like it's a real wake up call. Like, oh wow, clearly I'm not clean being on it, because it's a very powerful opiate. So to say that you're clean from opiates when you're on maintenance meds is just ridiculous to me. But that's me, you know, and I don't mean to offend anybody or anything like that. But that's just the way I feel, and you know, it just makes sense. And like I said, once you start to come off this medication, you will know. You'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. But sobriety is beautiful, man. Being clean is amazing, and I can't wait to get that back. So here we go. Here we go. Please join me on this journey. And my name is Shane again, and it's really great to kind of meet you guys in a video type of way, but stick with me. And if anybody wants to jump on this train and do this with me, then more the merrier, man. Let's do this. Talk soon, guys. Peace.